Buonasera a tutti, ciao a tutti, benvenuti al canale di I Love You Venice. Hello, hello to all of you. Ciao Nina, buonasera. Ciao a tutti, ciao ciao, ciao Nina, ciao Basil, ciao Adriano, buonasera, buonasera, benvenuti nel canale I Love You Venice che oggi siamo a Verona. Buonasera, welcome, welcome to all of you and welcome to all of you into I Love You Venice. And today we are definitely in Verona. So the view is just spectacular as you can see. And ciao Basil, buonasera, ciao ciao, ciao a tutti. Vedrete che oggi sarà veramente una bellissima camminata perché allora Verona si comincia a movimentare adesso, comincia a esserci un po' di gente adesso. Ciao Ricky! Yeah, let's say until now Verona has been extremely quiet. I reached Verona something like 6 hours ago, and 6 hours ago it was totally empty. We're slowly starting to have people right now, and there's a little bit of happening in the area of the arena. Sì, diciamo sono arrivato oggi qua a Verona circa 6 ore fa ed era veramente deserta la città. Comincia a animarsi adesso. What river is this one? Adriano, questo qua è l'Adige. Quindi this one is the river Adige. And this one is the most important river that is crossing, dividing, splitting the city of Verona into parts. But it's exactly the same Adige river that is going to go down close by Venezia, close by Venice actually. And so it has been extremely important for the local life here in Verona. But sì, bravissimo Adriano, Adige. Esatto, esatto, for the local life in Verona, but even for the Venetian Republic. Sì, ovviamente questo qua. Siamo a Verona, il nostro fiume che vediamo adesso è l'Adige, che è il fiume più importante della zona, quello più grosso, ed ovviamente è una delle arterie più importanti che connettono, diciamo, la zona fine Veneto per arrivare verso la zona di Venezia. Quindi tra poco andremo a scoprire un po' di leoni all'ate. Allora chi sei tu, Igor? Montecchio Capuletti? Sì, questa è la domanda della giornata, penso. Montecchio Capuletti. Capuletto o Montecchio? Who knows? A name it's a name, a rose it's a rose. Poi andremo a vedere anche Juliette, se è ancora là, che mi aspetta, non lo so, vediamo. Vediamo, vediamo. Ciao Rosenminden, benvenuto. You work in theater here as the Shakespeare, only kidding, I know, it's all fictional. Sì, Debra, ciao Debra, buongiorno. Sì, poi andiamo a vedere, we're going to see what is happening in town with Shakespeare, where it's all about, where they has been buried, where Romeo used to live, where Juliet used to live, and all these kind of things. But this is going to be really interesting. And there are no love messages by Juliet's house. You're not allowed to go in all together close to the COVID. And they took all the chewing gum that were attached into the wall, which is great. Sì, diciamo che nell'ultimo periodo sono stato prima nel balcone di Giulietta, vediamo se poi mi aspetta ancora là, vediamo. Poi parleremo anche di altre problematiche sui balconi, su Giulietta e tutte queste cose, e poi vedremo di toccare alcune idee, ma oggi ovviamente toccheremo anche il signor Shakespeare, che ci ha regalato delle opere interessanti ai pezzi di teatro super importanti. Guardatevi la bellezza che abbiamo attorno a noi. Have a look at how beautiful the old castle is. And this is going to be the feeling that we're going to have today, actually. That of course the Middle Ages here, they are still present. And Middle Ages, there has been some of the most important times of the area. Let me see if I'm able to climb some of these steps. I'm trying to take you a bit higher. We do a bit of climbing today. Hold on, let's see if I'm going to kill myself. Aspetta. Is this a famous Roman bridge? Let's say it's more dating back of the Middle Ages, if you want. And that this one is one of the most spectacular view that we got over the Adige River and the old castle. Ovviamente questo è uno dei ponti più importanti e più belli che abbiamo qua a Verona, ed è guardate la vista che abbiamo qua. Aspettate, la vista è veramente incredibile. Diciamo che la maggior parte delle opere che andremo a toccare oggi sono del 1100, 1200, 1300, ma la vista è veramente bellissima. Yeah, I say that the majority of the castles or the bridges that we're going to see, they're going to be dating back around the year 1000, 11, 1200. Look, we got even a fossil here. Oh, right there. It's a shellfish. Il Cremlino veronese, sì, hai ragione. Aspetta che vediamo se muoio. Let's see if I'm going to kill myself. I hope not. You can never tell. The bridge is always funny, especially with the gimbal on. Almost made it. Arrivato a terra. Houston, we don't have a problem anymore. Sì, ovviamente la vista che avevamo qua dal fiume ovviamente era per proteggere la città. Diciamo che una volta passato dall'altra parte la zona dell'arena era già praticamente fuori dalla città, e da là praticamente poi cominciava la zona romana. And you have to know that the entire area of the arena, so like the Colosseum, it used to be right at the edge of the city. Make a leap of faith. And the entire Roman town, actually, it would have been situated right in front of the arena. But you will see that it's going to be extremely spectacular. Of course, qua ovviamente la famiglia di Scaligeri della Scala sono stati tra le famiglie più importanti di tutta la zona. Yeah, look at here. Guardate la meraviglia. Ma soprattutto di questo periodo è bello vedere che Verona ritorna a vivere. Perché? Perché ricominciamo ad avere gli spettacoli dentro all'arena, come vedrete dopo. Yeah, the most incredible thing is that Verona and the entire Italy is coming alive again. So we're starting to have all the to be on the lyric concerts and all these things, and this is gonna be just fantastic. We got the hustling and bustling on the entire city in a couple of minutes. Sì, poi vedrete che ci avvicineremo alla zona dell'arena e ovviamente la situazione sarà molto ben diversa, ci sarà più confusione, anche perché stanno preparando il palco per le prossime sere, perché ci sarà la Ida al Nabucco direttamente nella zona dell'arena. Arena di Verona, esatto. Bisogna dire che praticamente c'erano due punti strategici della città, quindi noi abbiamo un anfiteatro romano. We got a Roman amphitheater pretty much on the bottom of those hills, and then we got the arena that it was the main one that is going to be at the end of this street. Sì, avevamo ovviamente due parti che erano estremamente importanti. Una era la zona dell'arena e l'altra era una zona un po' più sopra elevata, dove si poteva ovviamente controllare se arrivavano i nemici direttamente dalla terraferma. Qua ovviamente negli anni ci sono state svariate problematiche, svariate persone che hanno combattuto e vari scambi di famiglie, passando da Milano, finendo con gli austriaci, abbiamo avuto Napoleone, Nel 1945 ci sono stati dei grossi bombardamenti come tutto il nord Italia e ovviamente ci sono sempre stati da rifare parecchie cose. Yeah, you have to know that the entire city of Verona, it went through many different stages actually through the centuries. So we started with the Roman Empire, we ended up with Republic, we had the della Scala, we had the Lombardy, we had problems, the Austrians that they were ruling, he was ruling part of this area, so every quick all over this area. Well, let's have a look. At this real moment we are in a pretty big pedestrian area. Allora al momento siamo in una zona che ovviamente a cambiare. Sì, cominciamo a vedere lucchetti, all the love lockers, be chop it off. We got even a Giulia e Marco, sì, ovviamente tutti quanti i lucchetti degli innamorati dopo hanno buttato la chiave direttamente sul fiume Adige. Quelli vi faccio vedere una castello. Il castello. Ma adesso here I have a look how the old castle nowadays look like. That is a little. It's a museum actually with paintings. We even had the Scream of Munch that it was here. La connessione non è stabile, è meglio che esci dal castello. Go out of the castle. The signal. From this point on we should be fine, that we are definitely out of the walls at the moment. But here we go. How the situation is. So the entire situation is slightly different because we are way much higher than the normal level. Ovviamente negli anni cosa c'era? C'era il fossato, ecco perché qua abbiamo il ponte elevatoio, ed era un sistema ovviamente per mantenere la città molto più ben occupata e che i nemici non attaccassero ovviamente il castello. Ancora molto ben mantenuto. E un'altra cosa interessante è che cominciamo a vedere il marmo rosso rosa di Verona, che ovviamente è sempre uno dei più famosi. Yeah, the marble, we walk on marble once that you are in Verona, and the most important, the most beautiful marble that we got in this area normally is a kind of pinkish reddish marble. Here we go. We got few examples, so we can even afford to walk on marble here, which is quite amazing. Allora aspettate un attimo che qua la situazione è sempre interessante, dobbiamo attraversare la strada e poi siamo più o meno tranquilli. Vediamo se si fermano, datemi un secondo e voilà, made it. And so we're going to check it out, even the big statue of Mr. Cavour. This one, he has been one of the most important Italian that he was planning the unification of Italy. Ovviamente abbiamo le statue dedicate a chi l'unione dell'Italia negli anni. E ecco qua, adesso praticamente ci stiamo muovendo da un po' fuori città per andare piano piano direttamente al centro della città. As you know that slowly we're going to move from the outside directly into the heart of the city. You have to know that in Verona nowadays we got 100,000 inhabitants. Sì, abbiamo circa 300.000 persone che vivono nella zona di Verona città. Stra importante oggi per cosa? Per l'industria terziaria, per il turismo, per il lago di Garda che è qua vicino, per il marmo, per il tessile. Sì, Nina, hai visto come è bassa la città, ovvero nel periodo medievale era molto più bassa. Ovviamente negli anni abbiamo dovuto aggiungere terra, ma è normale, quasi tutte le città da romane che poi diventano nel passaggio verso il Medioevo fino ai giorni nostri si continuano a aggiungere terra e mettere pietre su pietre. Ovviamente se noi cominciamo a scavare un pochino sotto queste pietre cominceremo a trovare le varie sezioni, da quella rinascimentale, da quella medievale fino a toccare le case romane. Ma in qualsiasi parte d'Italia funziona così. Yeah, you have to know that right now, of course, we are way much higher than 2000 years ago, but that is really normal because through the centuries, different rulers, different situations, people started to add it up more land, and they started to tear down quarters district, and they built it up new districts, new houses on the top of the previous one. But it was even a way to protect themselves from the big tides that they were arriving from the Adige River. So in this way, having big tides and having a higher land, that it would have been just great and less problems with the floods. Say that of course through the centuries they had big problems around this area. Allora, la situazione a livello turistico, vi dico, Verona è sicuramente uno dei poli più importanti per il turismo. Mi piacerebbe, mi piacerebbe vedere il negozio di Furla, dovrebbe essere vicino all'arena, sì, se lo vedo volentieri vi faccio vedere il negozio di Furla. Adesso vediamo. C'è parecchia roba, andiamo a fare un po' di window shopping appena prendiamo il corso principale che ci porta verso le piazze e ci porta verso la casa di Juliette e quant'altro. Sì, quindi praticamente per chi sta a Verona o chi viene a Verona è facilmente raggiungibile con il treno piuttosto che con la macchina anche da Venezia, per chi di solito usa Venezia come base, e poi da qua ci si può facilmente muovere verso il lago di Garda, che ovviamente è una delle mete più importanti per il turismo da lago. Yeah, you have to know that on the last few years going or getting into Verona is extremely or pretty easy actually. That if you're using Venice as a base, you can come to Verona as a day trip. It's something like 1 hour, 1 hour and a half away. New thing that is arriving in Italy, we got all these scooters like this one, that they are pretty much everywhere, that nobody's putting them in order or anything similar. Here we go. They are all electric and we got big issues going on. Vi faccio vedere questo. Allora, cosa super importante, qualche giorno fa, allora abbiamo avuto Giuseppe Verdi che ha fatto il 150° anniversario, quindi 1871-2021, Riccardo Muti, grazie Deborah, 1 hour on the fast train and the slow train, and so Basil, 1 hour and 10 minutes in the fast train, in the slow train is 1 hour and a half, so it's still doable. Sì, bravissima Nina, è il maestro Mutti ovviamente, Riccardo Mutti, che il 19 e il 22 giugno ha suonato la Ida, senza scenografia, quindi senza partecipanti, ed è stato qualcosa di veramente incredibile. Yeah, you have to know that for the English speaking friends, this one is Riccardo Mutti. Is one of the most important maestro that we got in Italy, that he conducted one of the most important orchestra and he played the Aida that we just celebrated 150 years of Giuseppe Verdi, and on the 19th and 22nd of June he played the Aida in the arena. But if I can, I show you we're having the Turandot, just to give you an idea how everything looked like. We had the Turandot on July, we're going to have it in July, August and September. We got again the Aida with a full show. We got many concerts that are going to take place here. Let me see. Okay, thank you. I can't remember which MAJURE Trail Pass covers. I believe basically, if I'm not wrong, if you get the Euro Pass that you got Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, you can definitely cover Verona and these areas without the Euro Rail, the Euro Train Pass, no problems. I was lucky to visit a few operas that he conducted. That is something, and so you've been extremely lucky, because see him conducting our orchestra is something unbelievable. Let's say Deborah, I saw several, let's say many operas in the arena, but the thing that I love most is what? And so Riccardo Cocciante, Claudia Abbado, that is something amazing. And if I'm not wrong, we're going to have Placido Domingo that is going to perform on the 30th of July. And that is going to be another big hit. There's the three young tenors, that the Italian one that is called Il Volo, that they are pretty much international, well renowned pretty much everywhere at this moment. They performed 2 or 3 weeks ago inside of the arena. Let me go around that so we can slowly start to see. We're starting to see a bunch of people that are all well dressed. I believe that they are going to see the shows tonight. But basically, what I saw here, and so Riccardo Cocciante, that he is one of the most important musicians, that is half Italian, half French and half Vietnamese. He done some interesting shows, let's say, like Broadway if you want. I done Notre Dame of Paris, I done Romeo and Juliet. The Romeo and Juliet with 3D effects inside of the arena, that was incredible. Nessun Dorma performed either by Pavarotti or either by Andrea Bocelli. That is really outstanding. Absolutely. Once that you are coming here, I have to tell you, I've been in the Venice, I've been in the Petruzzelli, I've been in many different theaters around Italy, but the acoustic of the arena, you cannot have anything similar like this. The acoustic is just perfect, and is really touching actually. And every time that you are coming here and you might see the Turandot or either the Aida, or that doesn't matter what you're going to see, it's just impressive. And so think about that, the arena here is pretty much like the Colosseum. What we see right in front of us is something like 1,900 years old. We're not sure if it is dating back of the 1st century or the 3rd century, but that was something. Romeo and Juliet, the Grounding Opera, see, definitely. The absolutely right. Romeo and Juliet, but Deborah, if you check it out, Romeo and Juliet, or it should be Juliet and Romeo, from Riccardo Cocciante, that is something. Grazie mille, Adriano. How much money are the tickets? Let's say the last time that I had been here, I didn't have the front seats. I believe that I spent 30 euros, 30. It was pretty much, I would have been somewhere over there actually. That just to give you an idea, you got all the steps. It would have fit something like 80,000 spectators. The main stage is normally there, and that is unbelievable. Let's have a look. We're starting to have the security pretty much everywhere, as you can see. And we can start to hear some music. Let's see if I can if you are able to hear or see. Let's say 30 euros is not bad. Of course, if you're getting the front seats, the different. But 30 euros, the acoustic is great. Probably you don't see everything perfectly, but the stage, it's unreal actually. So it doesn't matter where you will be sitting, because everything is going to be just totally shocking. But look at here. I don't know if you can hear, but they are definitely preparing the atmosphere of everything. Do they perform it in the round? Hold on, give me a second, that we got policemen pretty much everywhere. Let's say you got seats on the round shape, and the main stage is like this, is cutting everything, and so the northern part, actually there's nobody that is, better, the eastern part, you got only the main stage, and everybody sitting from this point up here. Everybody will be seated here. You got the staircase that they start from the top and then they slowly go down, but you got even people on the ground level. Let me show you how everything look like. It's a poster, sorry, but at least we are right on the backstage basically, but you can see how the arena look like. And so you got the entire people that they are down there, plus everywhere here. Of course, let me see if I can give you a better idea. But let me tell you, if you got a chance, if you're coming this way, actually don't miss it. You should sleep in Verona. Let's say July and August is always opera. July, August, and September is always opera time. But let's say you are not an opera person, you don't like it, you might attend something else. So think about that. It's not happening anymore, unfortunately. But Dire Straits, they perform here. We had the U2 that ritorna vincitore, speriamo, I hope so. U2 perform inside of the arena, Sting, Andrea Bocelli, but we got Elton John, we got a long list of incredible artists actually that they all perform here, and this is just outstanding. But the most amazing thing from my point of view is I'm always curious. I always really like to see and investigate. If you're coming the day, what I really like is the entire scenario of the Aida or the Nabucodonosor, and so normally the entire stage is exactly here. Let's have a look, because basically they bring in and out the stage pretty much every day, and so they got a really hard job. Let me see how close that I can get, but definitely this is part of the stage. And so to see the big gigantic statues of Egypt here, those are unreal, let me tell you. And this year, especially with the new, there's a new collaboration between the arena and the Egyptian Museum in Torino. And so that's the other thing. If you're coming in Italy, everybody go to Roma, everybody go to Firenze, everybody go to Venice. Don't miss the opportunity. You must go to Turin, Torino, and that is going to be amazing. It's the largest and the most incredible museum dedicated with Egyptian statues actually, but the city. It used to be the empire, where the Italian king and queens they used to live, and that is something. Oh, look at here! This is so cool and so pretty. Adoro, adoro l'opera di Aida. È incredibile. No, ma guardate le statue, guardate la bellezza. quindi quando voi arrivate qua a Verona vi fermate un attimo e vi trovate direttamente le statue che poi verranno messe direttamente nello stage, quindi il backstage dell'arena è più o meno questo pezzo qua. Yeah, the entire backstage is right here. You got the entire stage that is gonna be somewhere right here actually, and everybody is going to attend the performance exactly here. Let me see if I can give you a better idea, and let's see if I can show you some other statues on the backstage. But this is super cool. The only thing that sometimes it might be a problem is that it's an open air stage, it's an open air theater, and so if it's going to rain you might have problems. Quindi comunque, soprattutto per gli amici che abitano in Italia, se avete la possibilità, ovviamente ci sono vari prezzi e adesso magari è un po' più complicato ottenere i biglietti causa Covid, restrizioni e c'è meno gente, però quando arrivate qua a vedervi mezzo stage della Ida parcheggiato qua fuori è qualcosa di veramente incredibile. Yeah, everything is totally incredible. Let me see if I got some more pieces of the stage. Yeah, definitely tonight. I'm really pretty sure that tomorrow they're going to do the Aida. But here we go. Look, that's so I can show you. The Marcia Trionfante. that is something. But here we go. Look. Let me see. Ciao Roy, benvenuto, welcome. But that's the crest of the Museo Egizio from Turin. And here we go. So let me see. 26th of June, 1st, 9, 15th, 21st of July at 9 o'clock. And then we got the 4th, the 8th, 12th, 21st, 27th of August, and the 4th of September. And this is pretty much who is going to perform. The director is going to be Diego Manteutz and Daniel Uren. But this is going to be something amazing. Let me see. In 2014, May, I walked this area with my wife. Sadly passed away. Oh, sorry. But have fond memories of Verona stay at the hotel. Just, okay. Roy, let's say that this area is just amazing. Let me give you. I will be doing Via Mazzini in a little bit probably. Let me see what I'm going to be able to do. But I try to show you as much as I can how the entire area. But let's try to go up the steps that here beside that they are preparing the entire arena. Let me see. Amneris is hours from Russia. Let's see. Beside of all the operas that they are going to perform in the next 2 or 3 months, the other entire idea is this: we are going to have the Stra Verona, and so the entire idea is that they are going to do the marathon right here in Verona. Here we go. Look. Once that you're coming here is just outstanding. The other thing is, especially on the lower floor, that's pretty much exactly where the gladiators they would have lived. We're still having quite a lot of incredible graffitis that they're saying, okay, I'm Mr. and Mrs. XY, I work, I lived here, I fighted for so many years, I won 17, 18 battles in a row actually, but they would have done even funeral parades inside of the arena. And as we were saying before, we are way much higher. Do they also sing while running? That is a good one, Nina. For me, actually, the situation is different. I can talk, speak, and eat the gelato at the same time. But I believe that it's not that great performance. Let's say we are going to go back to marathon and sporty things. Grazie Teresa, thank you for supporting the channel. That is really much appreciated. So in this way, every time we will be able to show you some of the best parts that we got in Italy. But definitely 80,000 spectators that they were performing, and thank you, Nina. At least we're going to have a great laugh. But actually, having 80,000 spectators exactly inside, that would have been just amazing, actually. Think about that, the Colosseum, but even Piazza Navona in Rome, they would have done what? They were flooding, they were making big floods inside of Piazza Navona. That Piazza Navona, Navona Square, it was like let's say a theater. And so, pumping the water inside of Piazza Navona, they would have been able to do battles with boats. That is unreal. So the other thing that is totally unreal is that if you start to think that the arena or the Colosseum or the Roman Forum or anything similar, they got something like 2,000 years and they are still standing, that is the other big miracle, actually. Of course, we had one section that it fell off, but you have to know that especially the big bombing of between the 1944 and 1945, a good probably 80% of the city, and at that point not much survived, not much left, and they done a big, massive, amazing restorations through the century. Let me see if I can read that. We got a bit reflections today. Mamaki has always puzzled. How did they manage to plug the streets? And so it was more like that. And so think about that, how it was working. There was a system that they were able to seal off the entire lower level of the theater in Piazza Navona, actually. Nowadays, since that we're talking about Piazza Navona, how everything would have worked out. Everything worked out that a theater was there. There were special dams, actually, that they were closing all the doors, and that way, actually, they were able to pump the water in. It was going to be turned into a swimming pool, but it would have happened maybe even here, actually, because unfortunately at that time of the century, first century, second century, first century after Christ, we don't have much about what was going on here. And so this has been built up during the time of the Emperor Augustus. Let me see, was a foot race starting here? Every song started a foot race. See, let me see, Roy. In a second, we're going to get Via Mazzini, and so here we go. That you was talking about Via Mazzini. This is the real beginning, and Via Mazzini for us is, if you want, the main street, and this one is definitely linking Piazza Bra and the arena with Juliette's house. But let me show you another thing. I luoghi di Dante a Verona, and so we got Dante Alighieri, and no problems, Roy, my pleasure, and so no problems. The entire idea is that, of course, we got Dante Alighieri, that once that he has been exiled from the area of Florence, he traveled, he moved, and he worked pretty much everywhere, all over the northern part of Italy. That he has been in Ravenna, he has been in Treviso, where I normally live, he has been pretty much in Venice, so he traveled pretty much everywhere. He mentioned quite a lot of areas, and especially this, we got definitely Mr. Dante Alighieri, and so he lived. Louis Vuitton is the inferno. See, Nina, another thing, Algida, that is the company that they produce the gelati. Here we go. We got another fossil right there. We got another snail. And so Algida Algida that is definitely, sorry, I almost hit two persons, nothing happened. The entire idea is that Algida, that is the best company that we got in Italy for the gelato, the one that you find it in the bars and so on, for the 700 years of Dante, because right now in Italy we're celebrating Dante. Thank you, Bre, grazie mille. What is happening? They created 3 different gelatos for Inferno. Grazie Roy, grazie. Thank you for supporting. And so basically we got 3 gelatos dedicated to the Inferno, the hell, the Paradiso, paradise, and the Purgatorio, purgatory. And so in this way, every now and then we got these special gelatos that they are going to be introduced, and it was a limited edition inside of the bars, and now even in some of the supermarket. Here we go. Let's say si stava parlando di via Mazzini, delle strade romane, l'arena era un po' decentrata come gli stadi nel centro. When you think about that, the arena behind us as nowadays, if you want, and after that actually you would walk right into the heart of the city, and that's exactly what we're doing. Somebody was asking, oh no, miss it. It should be somewhere here, probably this one. Who was asking it? Marco, Fabio cercavano Furla, and so somebody was definitely asking for Furla to do window shopping. Here we go, that at least you can get a little idea for Christmas presents. Absolutely super great that at least we keep everybody happy, even with the window shopping. Had my that they are addicted. Now we need Cosinello. Oh. Nina, here we go. I keep you happy. Christmas present in July. But definitely the Aperol Spritz or either the Negroni is something that is extremely popular. And doesn't matter if you're going to be in Venice, Milan or Verona. The only thing that I tell you is the price. That if you're going to get an Aperol Spritz in Venice or Verona with something like €3, you're fine. If you're going to get, prego Nina, if you're going to get an Aperol Spritz in Milan, it's gonna be more like €10, and so it's less expensive in Venice itself. Absolutely. Yeah, but we were definitely talking about the entire Via Mazzini a few hours ago. So at 1 o'clock, 1:30, there was me and my wife, totally empty all the way down. Now actually it's alive, but which kind of tourists are we having? But that's the only street with people. All the rest, they are totally quiet and there's almost nobody around. The people that you see around, of course, you got people from Verona. Here you go, that you can get a full view. Normally it's more packed, it's double packed. Letti, la via è bellissima, questa qua sono pienamente d'accordo. Yeah, this road is just beautiful. Doesn't matter which part that you are doing, but let's say if you're going to do shopping, it's great. But even from a historical point of view, you got these incredible palaces that they accompany you all the way down. Um, but we are still walking on marble. Yeah, we were talking about which kind of tourists that we're having right now. The majority Germans, Dutch, let's say Belgium, but let's say northern part of Europe, but not many at the end of the day actually. The majority of the people that they are around are the ones that they are normally, and they come here as a day trip actually, and that makes sense. But using the Garda Lake as a base, you can sleep in Sirmione, which is in the southern part of the lake, and that is a great spot because you got an amazing castle that is the Castello Scaligero. If you got kids, we got a bunch of amusement parks around this area. And you got Gardaland, or you got a kind of movie studio and so on, like a smaller version of the Universals. If you love sports, this is the best place to do sports actually, because especially if you do windsurf and these things. Or let me think. Especially the northern part of it's like walking in in a palace. See, Letty, that's the thing. Verona is just beautiful and perfect, and it's so clean, so nice. It's really to walk in a really posh red carpet if you want. Here we go. This is actually the most important shop that we got in Italy. Bialetti, Nina, si brava. Without the mocha, so definitely the coffee. Without the coffee machine, the Italians, they are pretty much dead. And so, what's the difference between American coffee and Italian coffee? Normally, you put the water over there. You got the filter. The water is boiling, and then the coffee is going up, and then is ending up directly in that section. And so, the coffee is not coming from the top, but is coming from the bottom. And so, boiling hot water going through the filter, and so definitely the coffee is going to be way much stronger. What does it mean? One Italian espresso is the equivalent of 8 American coffees. What does it mean? The American coffee is dirty water. For the Italians, it doesn't work. So you need to be normal. Let's say, I don't know if we are normal in Italy, but let's say to be normal in Italy, you need something like 10 cups like that of espresso, and then you are a kind of normal. But look, definitely, this one is the upper level of your coffee if you want. Let me see. We got Letty that she's wow, Basil that is laughing. You have two, we got Nina, I have two, and today bought my first espresso machine to make cappuccino while enjoying this. That is great. I use French press, Letty, but you are professional. The French press, it's amazing. And so there's a coffee place close by Venice, actually, that is called Caffettino, or otherwise you got Taste, Taste, that they got an amazing blend, and they are normally selling French press, but definitely the Taste coffee place that is in Treviso, that they got their own blend, it's amazing. And the French press, I definitely agree, it's upper level. Of course, even the Italians, they are moving into the machines. I use ESE's pod machine to make my espresso. Roy, I'm pretty much with you, because I'm normally using the Nespresso or anything similar actually, but I got the pod like you do. And so Italians, I mean, seriously, il Ponte delle Guglie always makes me crank my cup. See. But I definitely agree. But Nina, next time that you are moving to Venice, remember that behind the ghetto, and so the Jewish ghetto, and so behind the Ponte delle Guglie, we got Torrefazione Canareggio. They just moved it. Before they were right by the The Guglie, now they are by the ghetto. And the Torrefazione Cannareggia, they got an amazing blend that is called Al Remer, ALREMER, Remer, the rower. That has got an amazing taste of coffee, of course. And on the back, you got a nice kick of orange, and that is unreal. I have one of those little Italian coffee pots for camping, but at home I use the Longhi. Okay, I got the Longhi too, and the Longhi is from Treviso, which is something like 20-30 minutes out of Venice, and they are still producing all the coffee pods and the coffee machines all there. Cosa stai dicendo, Igor? Nespresso è sacrilegio. Yeah, I'm gonna be crucified, I'm gonna be beheaded, they're going to chop my head right now. No, let's say, I know. Thank you, Greg, thank you. No, the thing is, I agree, but let's say even the Italians, they are getting into short times, we don't have time and we need to hurry up. And so we're moving into the coffee makers or anything similar. The other idea is, the best coffee, in my opinion, that you can drink is definitely Napoli. How do you know if the coffee is good or not? And so let's say you go into an Italian bar and you ask for an espresso. Here actually you get the cappuccino only in the morning. In the afternoon is really difficult. Grazie, Nina. And so the entire idea is, once that you're getting the espresso in your cup, if the cream is thick, or better, the cream must be as thick as when you put the sugar is not gonna go down. The sugar gonna stay there for a couple of seconds and then it's going down. This means that the coffee is extremely good. But I tell you another secret. But this is gonna happen with the mocha, with the coffee machine. And so you take something like 1 spoon of sugar per person. So let's say you are making a mocha coffee machine for 3 people. You take 3 spoons of sugar. The first 3 drops of coffee that the mocha is bubbling up, you take it, you put it into the cup with the 3 spoons of sugar. You start to turn it, to stir it really fast, and it's gonna create what? It's gonna be like a really creamy thing. Then you take 1 spoon for each cup, and then you put the coffee into the cup. This is gonna be a really creamy experience. And so it's fun walking with you. Thank you, Letty. So we got a bunch of crazy Italian tips how to upgrade your coffee. But let's say, in my opinion, for sure, as you said, Nina, mocha, it's really great. And once that you get, especially in Napoli, and they use the mocha made out of ceramic, that is something, that is a great update. And in my opinion, that one is really the best one. Let's say we got many different blends. I even try the coffee Luwak coffee. That is the one that the squirrel, I mean the kind of animal is eating and then is going to the toilets and then they wash it. And that's the most expensive coffee of the entire world. I like my espresso black and unsweetened. I definitely agree. It's exactly the same thing for me. No sugar, because the sugar is spoiling the entire flavor. See, Dante mentioned it in the Divine Comedy for sure. Let me ask one thing. Ciao, buonasera. Posso andare dentro anche con questo? Grazie mille. Before that I'm going to get arrested or beheaded, I take you to see Juliette's balcony and we can film it and there's no problem. Prepare yourself, because we were definitely talking about Romeo and Juliet, of course, the Capulets and the Montague, but definitely this palace is way much older or better, it came after Romeo and Juliet, and so of course it's not real Barbara Debra. I don't know if I have to tell you or not, but this one is too funny. I must tell you because my wife and I were still laughing. And so beside that, Juliet, she's supposed to be right there, and Romeo somewhere over there. He has been quite lucky that he didn't fall off on the other side. But I tell you this one because, look, no people doing photo. Javier, ciao. No, we got a lot of people that non possiamo toccare il suo seno. Dov'è Juliette? Ah, Nina, allora non si può toccare più il seno di Juliette. Lo tocco io, ecco, a posto. I touch the breast of Juliette as a good luck. But right now, if I'm not wrong, and sorry about what I'm going to say, we got a journalist from New Zealand. She said that it's not fair to touch the breast of Juliet. It means that we are making her frustrated and all these things. And so definitely we're not allowed to touch the breast anymore. See, Deborah, everybody knows that it wasn't a real character actually, and beside of all the movies that they've done, starting with Zeffirelli, that has been just great. Let me see. Ciao, princess from Greenwich, London. This marvelous Verona. I'm so happy that you're having a great view. See, Roy, all the locks are gone. Give me a second. Or better, part of it. The locks, they were all there. And we're still having a bunch of locks that they are right there. Here we go. That's exactly where they are. Well, let's say right now they decided to chop it off all the locks, that so nobody is going to spoil anything. What's that Placido Domingo doing? See, and so let's say Nina Placido Domingo, as far as I understood, the 30th of July is going to perform here, and that is going to be impressive. Process server. I can see Romeo climbing in the English Ivy. Leslie Myers, Noiville, definitely, I see, let's say, let me give you a quick overview. We're definitely having less people because if you've been here, I mean, not 40, 50 years ago, but let's say really recently, let's say 2, 3, 4 years ago, this entire square, it would have been totally crowded actually. Was it Verona 2 years ago? And it was so beautiful there. Love the main piazza. Sì, Junior del Giorno, I definitely agree. It's a lovely spot. C'è poca gente, esatto Mariella. Ma c'è poca gente un po' dappertutto. Io che sono arrivato qua a mezzogiorno c'ero io e la moglie, basta, fine. Non c'era veramente nessuno. Before the tourist can take a photo in the balcony. Isn't it? And let's say right now everybody can take pictures, no problems. They just shut the museum that normally you enter directly from there, and you can go in the fake Juliet's balcony, fake Juliet's room actually, and you can take the pictures directly from there. Paola sì, bellissima, effettivamente è veramente proprio bello. Even in close from Campari. Sì, why oh why, I definitely agree. If it's not Campari, Aperol is working. It sounds really good to me. Ciao Mona Lisa, ciao, buonasera. Guardatevi la meraviglia. Però effettivamente quando si arriva qua è sempre bello vedere il tutto, anche se sappiamo che probabilmente non è niente vero, però è bello immaginare. Yeah, even if you know and you are not. Saluti la Venaria Reale. Ciao Aldo, come tua moglie. Sì, mi ricordo Aldo che eri da Venaria Reale, mi ricordo. Mia moglie è qua in giro, poi casomai vediamo se la troviamo. Ci dovrebbe essere da qualche parte. Però effettivamente quando si arriva qua è veramente bellissimo. Però come avevo detto c'è molta meno gente del solito. Yeah, we got less people than normal actually. Sorry. Let me see. Let me try to give you a better chance without killing everybody to show you the balcony. Give me a second. But if some of you has been here a few years ago, we would have had the entire wall full of post-it, love messages, love letters, etc., chewing gum everywhere. They reclean everything properly and now it's just a pleasure to sit. Sì, se vi ricordate, qualcuno di voi se è stato qua, era pieno di chewing gum attaccati, messaggi d'amore. Sì, direi anch'io, direi che questo è sicuramente il miglior periodo per visitare le città d'arte, questo sicuramente. Allora, cosa sta succedendo in Italia? Momentaneamente non servono più le maschere, si può andare in giro senza problemi, senza maschere. Si devono mettere le maschere solamente quando si vanno nei locali pubblici o dove c'è tanta gente. E dopodiché la maggior parte delle città storiche sono praticamente vuote e quindi è veramente il miglior periodo dell'anno per visitare la città. Folks, I have to tell you that for those of you that they might think to come to Italy now, this is the best time actually. There's few people around. Let's say now it's crowded, but 2-3 years ago it would have been totally packed. And getting into Venice, Verona, Milan, Torino, the entire idea is once that you come here is really doable, perfect, fantastic. Let me tell you this one. I was in Piazza San Marco, in St. Mark's Square last Sunday, and in Piazza San Marco I counted 60 people. Never happened to me before. IGOR is the Aperol Spritz Verona as popular as in Venice. Let's see. This one is a gelato place, and so I cannot tell you. Oh, let me see. I see orange over there. So definitely is as popular as in Venice. But let's say the Orange Republic, as I usually call it, is starting from, let's say, Venezia is ending up in Milan, let's say Torino. And so let's say the entire northern part of Italy, it's all a big Orange Republic and everybody likes it. And so, and definitely that's how it's working. Let me read a bunch of the questions. Let me see. Also, let me see that we got Tatiana. Is the entire city pedestrian, no cars? The majority of the city is totally pedestrian. Here, actually, the car that you just saw it is because they are all resident, the people that live here, or otherwise are the workers that they are moving around. Let's say no COVID here. We are 0.4 or 5 at the moment. Almost we got no problems. We are having some Delta contaminations, but really few cases at the moment. And the entire situation is just great. Igor, is the train station close to the part of the city where you have been walking? And so, where the arena is, so that is what, 5 minutes away from here. Walking from the arena to the train station is probably a 10 minutes walk. If you cannot walk, if you don't feel like walking, you can always catch a taxi, and that should cost you something like 10-15 euros. Otherwise, you got the public bus, and the public bus it should cost something like €1.50 if I'm not wrong. Let me see some other questions. Give me a second. I'm happy that these tours they are going to bring you back to real life. Ciao a tutti, benvenuti. See, let's say Mona Lisa, you're right that the travel ban lifted. He moved into June, and so there should be no problems. And right now you should be able to come in anytime. So should be working pretty great. Let me show you something before that I turn around. Here we go. Hola Brasil, ciao Paloma. Ciao a tutti, ciao Renato, buonasera, ciao. Fammi vedere che ho perso un messaggio. Yeah, it seems that somebody needs to go to work. But before we were talking about the flavor of the Middle Ages. Look at here. Let me see. We're going to get a great idea. And another thing, if you're coming, when is the best time to... Ciao, ciao, ciao a tutti, ciao. Benvenuti, benvenuti, welcome, welcome. When is the best time to come to Verona? And so, if you love the music, of course, June, July, August, September, because you got all the operas going on. Otherwise, the other thing is during February, St. Valentine's Day, so the 14th of February, this is another great time to be in Verona, because the square that we're going to get in a few seconds is going to be all decorated with hearts, and that is going to be really pretty actually. But here we go, that we're going to be able to see the Torre del Lamberti. But even if you're coming during Christmas time, this area will be really nice, because you got quite a lot of interesting small Christmas markets and so on. Here we go, Dante Alighieri, that is worried because there's a pigeon in his head at the moment. The question of the day is gonna poo in my head or not, who knows. Well, as we were mentioning before, the the day dedicated to Dante, and here we go, he's exactly there. Yeah, this view is just spectacular. The sky, it's amazing. The only thing is it's just too hot and humid. That's the only thing. So think about that. We got something like 80 degrees with a lovely 70% of humidity. Is it possible to buy the tickets of the arena at the entrance or only ahead of time? And so, let me see, Tatiana, is better if you buy ahead of time at this real moment, mainly for a reason. The main reason is because to the COVID restrictions, they limit only few people to go in, and you must... Dante in umido, ma da un pezzo è un umido, sta morendo di caldo Dante. Yeah, it's better if you buy everything ahead of time. Let's say even... you might be lucky that you get it directly on the same day, but if you buy it ahead of time, it's better. You like the Leonardo DiCaprio idea better than the other one. Sì, 700 anni dalla morte di Dante, esatto, stiamo celebrando un po' dappertutto. In tutta Italia. Yeah, Mona Lisa, I definitely agree that version is quite good. I like it, but I love even the Zeffirelli version. I love especially the soundtrack that has been played in the Zeffirelli versions. But one thing, really, if you're going to get the chance, go to YouTube, and if you're going to put Riccardo Cocciante, if you are going to put the Romeo and Juliet by Riccardo Cocciante, try to listen to those songs that he composed, and he done a great job actually. Unfortunately, there are a few little videos, but the guy that he played Mercutio, he was brilliant. The voice is outstanding. So Mercutio was amazing. So think about that. The entire palace of the Capitano is dating back of the 14th century, but look how beautiful the atmosphere is. Yeah, the entire idea of the buildings that we got on our surroundings, and so think about that. The majority of these buildings, they are dating back around the 12th, 11th century, and see, Antonio Salieri was definitely from here, that he was the competitor of Mozart. And that these buildings, actually, it was pretty much at the area where they took the decision for for the city of Verona, actually. And BBC had a great one too with Alan Rickman and John Glengarth. See, I definitely agree, and they done a great job in those days. But think about that, the squares that they are around us. If this one, it was the square where they took the most important decision for the city of Verona. Next door, that we just added, it was the Piazza del Erbe, and that one, it was like Wall Street. That's where they took the most important economic decision for the city. And just around the corner, actually, we got the church of San Zeno, that it was basically the main, or the Duomo, that it was definitely the main cathedral. You have to know that during, especially during the Middle Ages, the three main squares, they were all linked together, and the three main powers, they were all linked together. So at the end of the day, we would have had political, economic, and religious power being three squares, and with three different areas. Here we go, that we got the Ciao Ralph, welcome. And so Brazil, lucky you. Was Verona part of the Republic of Venice or just outside the territory? No, Basil, this one for a period of time, actually, he has been part of Venice, absolutely. And think about that, the entire area, it was what? Especially 500 years ago, in the 1500s, they developed the walls to protect Verona, but to protect especially the city of Venice after the League of Cambrai. We are definitely in the Arche Scaligere, that they are what? The tombs of the family that it was called Scaligeri. And so this one is the monumental tomb dedicated to the family. Clima de luglio, quiero un gelato. Anche due. Dos es mejor, yo pienso. Was Verona as well in the Italian Job movie and 007 in the film? Let's say probably Verona was more like in Letters to Juliette. They might have a little bit of Italian Job, but Letter è sufficiente un giorno per visitare Verona. Is it enough one day to visit Verona? Let's say one full day in Verona, it might be pretty good, actually. That's so you can hit everything. Let's say this walk that is going to last 1 hour and a half is going to be enough to see some quick points of the city. Quindi per vedere Verona velocemente un giorno non basta, ovviamente. Se uno ha poco tempo lo facciamo bastare, però la città offre tantissimo, soprattutto a livello museale. Ogni volta qua ci sono delle esibizioni molto interessanti. Qualche anno fa sono venuto a vedere una mostra dedicata a Toulouse-Lautrec, quindi si raccolgono più idee tutte assieme e più cose, quindi how big is the square, più cose assieme, e quindi diciamo che ci serve un paio di giorni comunque per vedere tutto bene, perché poi da qua si può andare al lago di Garda oppure si può andare a vedere l'Amarone, la zona del vino. Thank you, Juan. Yeah, how big is the square? Let me see. It should be something like, let me give you a full idea. You hear good music, Teresa, see. I show you from where the music is arriving, but the square is pretty much what, 100 meters long, almost. The latest Mission Impossible was filmed definitely in Venice, but even across the river into the trees from my spritz was €4.50 each in the Caffè Barberini, sì, but that's pretty much the entire idea. Devo cantare qualsiasi aria. Forse è meglio di no, che poi non dorme più nessuno. No, it's better if I'm not gonna sing, otherwise nobody's gonna is gonna sleep. She's singing Cucurucu Paloma, that is a song directly from Battiato, that is an Italian singer from Sicily that it passed away a while ago, but it was just amazing. Yeah, let's say if you're coming this way, I need some gelato. I need some kilos of gelato at this point. We are slowly entering into the old market square in the place of Palazzo della Ragione e Scala della Ragione. But this still is the place where they take the most important decision for the city. But that's exactly where you are able to get married today if you get into the city hall. But let me tell you another thing. Think about that is it's a Mexican song. I know that it really sounds like a Mexican song, and she made it more Latin American version actually, but that Cucurucucu Paloma, you're right, it sounds really Spanish, but is Battiato is definitely the name of the singer. But if some of you has been to Siena, down in Tuscany, the colors of the stripes of the buildings and the colors actually they are exactly like the one that you got in Siena. How many days? Let me see. Avinash, sorry for the pronunciation. How many days to explore Verona? Let's say it depends. We're all different. If you like more mother nature, if you like a relaxing holiday in the area of the Garda Lake, that is 20 minutes away from here by train, and you can use the lake as a base, and you can come to Verona with the train. And Buoni would be nice. No, and the thing is, see, you're right that is a Mexican song, but we use just Cucurucucu Paloma, and then the rest is totally different. You are right. You are definitely right. I totally agree. But he just mentioned the song, the Mexican song, in the Italian song, but the rest of the song is different. But you're right. Ending up with how many days, and so you sleep in the area of the Garda Lake, and then slowly you get into Verona with the train. I would say that you need probably 4 or 5 days here. So one full day in Verona. I would definitely spend one night in the opera for sure, and you cannot miss it. Grazie that we can borrow, and you cannot miss it. The opera, of course, and then you need one full day to taste the Verona wines, and that is a must if you like the wines actually. And then you need several days for the Garda Lake, because the Garda Lake is one of the largest lakes that we got in the northern part of Italy, and you can easily get Sirmione. You got an island inside of the Garda, and that one is like half a private island, and that one is amazing. You got Salò, that you got the Vittoriale, and that is another incredible spot. You need 2 weeks for shopping. Does the word Verona means anything? Now we see. The other idea is you need yeah, but if you get the bicycle You get definitely the bike. If you love the bikes, you got the most beautiful bicycle track of the entire Italy that is suspended directly in the bridge, and that one is unreal. Let me see, 2 weeks and a lot of money for shopping. That is not a bad idea. Marek, hi Igor, ciao Fabio, ciao everyone, as always, grazie, grazie, grazie Marek. When I hear the name Verona, I'm always wondering to Verona. No, let's say that Verona is more like arriving from the Roman time. What is the traditional food to eat here in Verona? And so, here in Verona, the most typical one, I would start with the not pasta or something else. I would definitely start at this time with the panettone. Vorrei vedere il ponte di pietra sull'Adige. Olga, eravamo prima sul ponte di pietra sull'Adige. Se torni indietro sulla registrazione lo vedi, un pezzetto che l'abbiamo visto prima. Poi adesso se ritorno indietro non ce la faccio perché è troppo distante. Quindi il panettone is one of the most incredible cakes that we got here, actually, that we produced especially during Christmas time, and all the leftover like raisin or nuts, they're going to be put there, and that one, it's a great cake. Verona is a slower pace than Florence. Let's say here panettone is the place, the cake, and then you should go with the tortellini, actually, that right in this area is great for the tortellini. Here we got a Verona house for Juliette, we got a house for Romeo, we got Romeo's tomb, we got Romeo's tomb and Juliet's tomb, but there's a little bit of everything actually dedicated to them. The only thing is that everything is totally spread out, unfortunately. Let me go on the side, and it's difficult to go from one side to the other side, actually, that they are all really spread out. Well, let's say, as we were mentioning before, prosciutto schiacciato. Well, let's say the schiacciato al prosciutto, you can find it pretty much everywhere, actually. Here in Verona, the other thing that is great is what? The carnival, that here you got il re dello gnocco. And Verona is a Shakespeare theme park, pretty much so, because let's say the idea of Romeo and Juliet, it can be found pretty much everywhere once that you are coming in this area. But let's say the entire area of Veneto, because Shakespeare, he definitely used Verona, but he definitely used Padova and Vicenza, and Padova, Vicenza, and Venice. And so all these areas, actually, they has been heavily used by Shakespeare. Less is better. Let me see. Let's say less is more. Look, we're starting to get street art pretty much everywhere. We got this lovely cat with the heart right there. Now let's say the city during nighttime, that is the best time to visit, because at that time actually everything is totally light up, and that it will be really the place of the lovers, and that's where the entire story idea of Romeo and Juliet is definitely all coming out. Is the little train still running through the streets of Verona, the choo-choo train? Yeah, I saw it. It was 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and so I saw the little choo-choo train. That one is produced by a company that is called Dotto Trains, D-O-T-T-O, Dotto Trains, and that company is from Castelfranco Veneto. They made a fortune actually, because they definitely created choo-choo trains for everywhere. Here we go, the time of talking about food. Aya, 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 aya. This is the problem as usual. Truffles, potatoes, dry tomatoes, porcini, mushrooms, salami from the horse, and then of course we got prosciutto, soppressa, different kind of things. But of course, look at here, we got the bellini from the Cipriani. Of course we got the prosecco, and then what we got, Villa Girardi Amarone. Here we got that, we got the ripassi and everything, and so that's pretty much the entire idea. So with those of you that we were talking about the Amarone, this is for especially the wine lovers, this is definitely the paradise. And so think about that. Villa della Torre, in my opinion, is really outstanding. Is that a local Castroni? Castroni, what's the Castroni, Nina? Tell me, Gastronomia probably. The daily is pretty much a daily shop, something like that. How much is that? Oh, let me see. But look, starting with the cheap one, this one is €5.50. We got the oil from the Garda Lake, that is something like €10. Let me see. The big bottle, but that one you need something like 3-4 bottles to make the big one. That one is €100. Amarone Classico Valpolicella, and that one is 130. Benedetti La Villa, the big bottle, is 180. The Ripasso over there is 180. But Bellini in a boutique sounds sort of fake. See, I definitely agree actually. I would have kept the Bellini away. And so as long that is an Amarone, everything it's okay. But once that you see the Bellini there, it sounds a bit funny, even to me. So the two things, they're normally not matching together actually. Look up at the sides of the buildings. They are, so see, let me see. Let's say the majority of these palaces, they are dated back around the 1800s. But if some of you has been to Roma, this color buildings is giving you the best cheeses and flavors of gelato in Verona. We are foodies. Let's see, Scott, try to check the drunk cheese, and normally is a cheese that is going to be aged in the grape, or you might have a cheese that is going to be aged in ale. But Scott, let's do like this. If you are going to send an email in the channel, but if you're going to go into the description of the episode of today, there's an email. Drop us few lines that I can give you the full list of where to go, what to do, what to see, what to eat, and all these dairy farms and all these things. And so in this way, it's gonna be way much easier. But because we got some really incredible and secret spots. And so let me see if I'm able to take you into the Ponte di Pietra. Let me see that we got still a few minutes. But the entire idea, drop us an email. That's in this way we're going to give you the full list of what to do, where to go, and all these things. Let's say on the last few years, they're doing amazing cheeses. At this real moment, the best cheeses that we're having in Italy is all goat cheese, and they're winning a lot of prizes actually. and everything is going to go back to what? Everything is going to go back to wrap the cheeses up into wax. Exactly how the Dutch they would have done for centuries, and many other communities actually, because the wax from the bees, it would have protected the cheese for a longer period of time actually. And so the last one that I saw it was Tonga beans, Tonga beans and gin, Tonga beans and gins, capra DMC, sì, capra, formaggio di capra, that was amazing. The hill that is right in front of us, that one has been actually right on the bottom where got the Roman amphitheater, and that is one of the most incredible spots. The other idea, and so Tonka beans, it means that the flavor is like vanilla, and so vanilla and gin, and with goat cheese, the flavor it's really amazing. It's a cheese that has been produced not far from here actually. They just won something like 2 or 3 gold medals as the best goat cheese produced in Italy, and they just produce 30 round cheeses, limited editions, but I believe that is going to continue to be in the production actually. As you can see, look, we just left the main street, and the entire idea is totally different, and we got less people. And so think about that, it is early afternoon, the situation was like this, just few people around. Let's say here about face masks and all these things, what are the restrictions and so on. Since the 28th of June, we are allowed not to wear face masks when we are outside. As long that we see people along the way, we have to wear it. If you go inside of a shop or restaurant or whatever, you wear it. When you are eating, you don't wear it. If you need to go to the toilet, you wear it. But I say the situation at the moment is a kind of okay, so we don't have many people that are having problems. But let's say, yeah, praise the Lord, praise the God, no masks. For me it's different, and so I had a big surgery in the mouth, so at the moment I'm wearing, because from an aesthetic point of view is not the best one, and so I'm just waiting that everything is going to go back to normal. And so having a face mask, for me, I'm quite happy at the moment, but definitely I'm melting down too. Cars can pass through. See, normally the cars, they can pass through actually. Of course, the entire city is supposed to be mainly for horse and carriage actually in the past, especially this little area here actually. Of course, now that everybody's got big cars, it's always difficult, but we're having how much is the cheapest traffic fine police? If I'm not wrong, it should be something like 57 euros or anything similar. Yeah, I'm fine. I pretty much heal everything. At the moment, I'm fine. The only thing is that we need time. Horse salami, that is normally called salame felino, and that horse salami is really popular actually. It's got more. You have to know that in Italy, normally how it's working and with the horse salami and so on. normally you give the horse meat to the mothers that are pregnant. 1882, look how high the Adige River was. I'm 1 meter 80. Touching the number 7 is something like 2 meter and 10. I believe that they ended up having 1 meter and 90 of high tide right here. And so here in Italy, you have to know, I know if we got some British friends that are connected, I know that for you, sorry, but we normally eat horse, and we give horse to the families, to the mothers that are pregnant. That is normally how everything is working. But that is exactly how it's working, because it's a meat full of minerals and is giving a lot of energies to the mother. And so normally the doctors, they are giving to the liver babies. So that's or salami. Sweet. Wow, didn't know that. Yeah, another thing, sorry about this, but especially to the British friends, I know that rabbits, especially in UK, it's a pet, but in Italy we normally eat, and so it's a kind of normal. Can we come in Christmas time? Anytime you can come here, anytime. So you can enjoy the entire area actually. It's just spectacular as any, but it will be all beautifully decorated. Opa. There we go, that we're ending up our tour in the Ponte di Pietra, the stone bridge that so in this way we can see the Adige River again. We definitely made it. But here we go, the full view. Oops. Yeah, let's say rabbit, it's a really nice meat. Well, folks, it has been great to be with you tonight. I hope that you enjoy our little walk introduction to the area of Verona. Think about that, the remains of the Roman amphitheater would have been right in front of us, and this is the Roman bridge pretty much, absolutely. And this one is the most spectacular one if you want, but definitely if you walk around the city, we are all, the entire city is totally surrounded by part of the walls, part of the bridges, and we got the Adige River that is crossing the city. Grazie, grazie, grazie to all of you. I just stop here, that's so we finish with the sunset that we got in Verona. Grazie mille, arrivederci, alla prossima. Grazie, grazie, thank you to all of you. Thank you for supporting the channel, and this is thanks to you that every week we can give you something new. Can we see a glimpse of Igor? Give me a second. I put the masks on, otherwise the entire situation is too funny. Ciao. My pleasure. I hope to see you soon again. And we finish with the sunset. Grazie mille and arrivederci.